Good day to Dr. D and my fellow friends. We are from Group 1 and will be presenting on the impact of tourism sector on marine environment and biodiversity. Before we start, let me explain briefly to all of you about the tourism sector in Malaysia. Currently, tourism sector are one of the largest industries in Malaysia, which contributes in foreign economic exchange and employment opportunities. There are so many islands in Malaysia that are famous with this tourism sector, such as Pulau Gyoman, Pulau Redang, and Pulau Perhentian.
Now I will explain about the importance of the island. The island is the natural component in the sea, act as a significant role in aspect of economy, biodiversity, and resources. The island act as a rest stop for migratory birds, the foundation of the coral reef ecosystem, and biodiversity hotspot, which is the home to the thousands of rare species. However, the development of the island due to the tourism and recreation purpose has created a serious impact on the island ecosystem. Inadequate policy frameworks with violation monitoring, insufficient management and planning, and slow growth of public awareness causes the condition of the island to become worse.
Coastal area of the islands have been developed for tourism uses. Constructions of resort and related infrastructure, poor sewage and waste disposal from the islands will eventually cause aquatic pollutions and eutrophications to occur. The number of the visitors to the islands also surge day by day will eventually result in more vigorous recreational activities and the owner of the resort to extend their current permits in order to maximize their profits. Sunscreen usage by tourists, which contain harmful chemicals, will also affect the coral community. The advantage of tourism sectors is that the employment rate will increase along with the increase of gross income. But on the other hand, the destructions of natural habitats and loss of marine diversity will also occur at the same time.
The current acts and policy which can be related to the impacts of the tourism sectors on the marine environment are limited and lack comprehensive consideration. Section 29 of the Environmental Quality Act 1974 Act 127 states that the waste discharged into Malaysian water is prohibited unless licensed. Offenders are subject to imprisonment and fine not exceeding 10,000 or both, while Section 33 grants the power for the Director General to control or prohibit the license to discharge the waste. This act can be used to confront the owners of the tourism permits to secure the marine ecosystem. For the irresponsible attitude of fishing resorts that allowing over-exploiting of fishes by tourists, Section 21 of the Fishery Act 1985, which is Act 370, grants the power for the Director General to revoke the suspended any permits if he believes that such action is necessary or expedient for the proper management of fishery, especially in the highly diverse islands such as Perhentian Island.
The most effective way to deal with the effect of tourism development currently is by applying the Fisheries Act 1985 related to the marine parks and marine reserves. Section 41 Part 1 grants the power for Minister to establish any part of the Malaysian fisheries water as a marine park or reserves as a purpose for aquatic flora and fauna protection, enhancing productivity or regulating recreational activities. The Minister can also make special regulation to deal with the tourism premise as stated in the 45th section of the Fisheries Act 1985. Department of Environment and Fisheries in Malaysia are the departments that are responsible to take any action against the offenders who go against the law when related to the marine ecosystem within Malaysian water, which may affect the quality of the marine ecosystem.
Latest revised version of the National Policy on Biological Diversity 1998, conducted from 2014 to 2015, has revised on the current biodiversity management to fulfill Malaysia's obligation under the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. This revised policy has outlined 5 key principles, including heritage, precaution, shared responsibility, participatory and good governance on the biological diversity. Target 5 states that the tourism is sustainably managed and promote biodiversity conservation by the year of 2025, while Target 7 states that by 2025, coral reef and seagrass bed are adequately protected and restored. Both of these targets are closely related and can be applied on the current trend of tourism activities, which may affect the local biodiversity of coral reef. The purpose of the target set is to maintain plants and animals in their original habitats, while considering as many representative natural ecological habitat as possible to sustain breeding population of flora and fauna.
Based on the existing policy and act available, we shall implement more detailed measures and proactive steps to overcome the emerging issues due to the extensive development of the tourism sector. Our current policy can still be applied in some cases, but the policies are still too general and lack detailed measures about the do's and don'ts regarding to the tourism activity carried out on the island and surrounding. The government can publish a handbook regarding operating procedures for tourism operators, but unfortunately, a standardized plan can hardly be developed due to the different nature of the island and the variation of the marine ecosystem nearby. The government has to collaborate with environmental specialists and biologists to carry out surveys and publish an assessment report on the quality of the island ecosystem and the diversity of the habitat surrounding the different islands. This will be a fairer and logical way of implementing measures for the island tourism operators to follow and obey. Long-term assessment has to be done from time to time to observe the condition of the marine ecosystem.
Governments should work together with NGOs and the private sectors to combine the available resource for the conservation of the island environment. Educate people, help training, and implement a unique management system for each island are the good ways to balance up the gain from tourism sectors while maintaining the balance of the marine ecosystem and the water quality.